Welcome to Bio class, class 10. Today's topic is transportation, transportation in human being. In earlier chapter, we saw that the food and the oxygen and all the materials it should reach the every cell in our body, and so that the body can do the work, do the respiration and produce the energy. But how all these things will be reached, will be transported. So there should be one transportation system, and you know that in our body it is a well, I mean, controlled system is there. That is one heart is there. That is the pumping organ. You know the blood is there, and so many blood lines, artery, vein, capillaries, all these things are there. Let at first to see that our pump organ, that is heart. Here is our heart, quite amazing organ in our body. You know that it is only 300 gram weight, and almost it is looks like your fist, but its work is amazing. You will be surprised that 8,000 liter of the blood moves through 96,000 kilometer of the blood vessel every day. And all the time its work that you know. Here you can see that the outer surface of it, you can see the bloodline, here all the bloodline in every surface. Very soon we will see its internal part of it. You can see that the ventricular part, this is the ventricular part, and the coronary artery and the vein of it. Now here you can see that sectional view of heart. Here in heart, basically that three things you have to remember. That first is chamber. There are the four chamber. Our heart is four chambered heart. There are few blood lines which is moving from there, and some valves. So first you see that here I marked the heart chamber. That is the auricle. You know that the auricle, this two, the auricle, left auricle and the right auricle, and the left ventricle and the right ventricle. Okay. In bloodline, that you have to remember that aorta, pulmonary artery, these two, and the superior and the inferior vena cava, superior vena cava, and pulmonary veins from both the sides, pulmonary veins. Now in valves, the tricuspid valves and mitral valves, and here the semilunar valve. Okay, so this part that you have to remember, these parts are important. Okay, now come here in systemic circulation. In circulation, you know that the here it is blood is circulated and the heart will pump, right? So first we can take that deoxygenated blood in we are taking the blue color here. Deoxygenated blood from the different part of our body, it goes and enters here in lower part of the body towards the vena cava, inferior vena cava, and from the upper part of the body it enters inside the superior vena cava, the upper part of the vena cava. So here the oxygenated blood will reach in right atrium. Okay. At the same time, oxygenated blood from the lungs it will enter. So you know that the lungs is nearby, uh, through the pulmonary vein it enters. It is from another side also, but another side it is difficult to show here. Show it as in left atrium. Okay. Now the atrium will contract, which is called systole, and show that the blood will enter inside the respective ventricles. Respective ventricles. Next, ventricle systole will be there, ventricle will contract. When ventricle will contract, the blood will not return back to the atrium. See that the deoxygenated blood, which is marked in blue in color, deoxygenated blood, it moves towards the lungs for the further purification through the pulmonary artery, and here the oxygenated blood, which is marked in red color, it enters inside the aorta. See that here the aorta, after that it moves all over the body and it supplies the oxygen and other things to the every cell. So this is our systemic circulation. Here in your book's diagram also that is there in lungs capillaries. Here oxygenated blood it enters inside the heart, and after that it is circulated all over the body, and when it is oxygen is used, it turns into carbon dioxide containing blood, and this blood again goes back the vena cava, and again it goes for the purification to the lungs. So this is the systemic circulation, and here the representation you can see. In different other animals, it shows like amphibians. Amphibians is 3-chambered heart, and in amphibian heart you can see here amphibian heart that oxygenated and deoxygenated blood will mix together. The mixture takes place in ventricle, because ventricle is not separated like human. In case of fish also it is different. Fish is having 2 chamber. You can see that the auricle and the ventricle, and here only deoxygenated blood can pass. It is not like human and amphibians, and only once that blood can flow. So here you can see that this part, the blood goes only once through the heart and fish, in the fish during one cycle of the passage through the body. On the other hand, it goes through the heart twice in case of human being, just to compare, and other vertebrate. So this is known as double circulation. You have to understand this one, double circulation. It means that the blood, each and every blood and blood cells, it enters inside our heart in 2 different forms. One is oxygenated and another is deoxygenated. Oxygenated and deoxygenated, these 2 forms it enters. So this circulation is double. That is called double circulation. Know a little bit about blood pressure. Blood pressure, it indicates that ventricular systole, ventricular contraction, which is a systolic, it's called systolic pressure, and the ventricular relaxation as the diastolic pressure. The systolic and the diastolic, which is marked here, which is normal, 120 and the 80. That is, we have measured that as a blood pressure. Next part, the tube, the blood vessels. Here arteries, vein and the capillaries, you know that our blood vessels. We can see this its structure so that we can understand better. Here is the artery. Artery, you can see that the wall is much thicker. Inside hole is narrow, whereas the vein is thinner. Normally, vein carrying deoxygenated. Normally, artery carries oxygenated blood. And here is the capillaries. Capillaries, you know that uh, it is like that. It is connected with each other. And so that blood can flow, and it enters inside any tissue part, and after that after giving oxygen it turns into deoxygenated and enters inside the vein. So it is very clear to you that artery is a very thick elastic layer is there, whereas in vein it is a thinner layer. In artery, blood carries in very high pressure, whereas in vein it is much low pressure. It returns to the heart. So this is the structure. Maintenance by platelets. We know that blood is a liquid tissue. So if any leak is there, then the bleeding will start and all the blood will drain. So there is an internal system that our platelets which can stop that blood flow. Let's take a look at the few steps of it. Okay, platelets play a very important role in coagulation. Platelets here it secretes thromboplastin. If tissue rupture is there, if any blood vessel any rupture is there, then it secretes this protein, and it combined with the fibrinogen from the blood, and it turns into the clot formed in the fibrin, so that the blood cell cannot come out, and it is sealed. So platelets plays a very important role here, and it's coagulate the blood. Okay, today up to here. Next day we'll do the lymph and the rest part of on that transportation plant and other. Okay, thank you.